Gulp. It's me. We just did F2. Now we're doing F1. And I need to make sure that stream works. Yep, stream works. Cool, 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 cool. If anybody in the chat wants to tell me if audio's okay or anything. Oh, apparently it's gonna rain in Qatar. Okay. Yo, what's up with that? Unfortunately, commentating solo today. Audio is good? Oh, thank you. Who are you, Duxter? You gotta be someone from SFR. Oh, you're some driver maybe. Wait, Duxter. Nope, I have no idea who it could be. Oh yeah, Max Martin. Max Martin retiring because that's a qualifying ban for Max Martin, so he's serving that now. Anonymous man of mystery and wisdom. You're that Red Bull engineer guy, I bet. Yeah. I forgot his name, but yeah, I bet you're that Red Bull engineer. Because the timing is too perfect for you. And you tuned into F1 specifically. You gotta be the Red Bull engie. Alright. Anyway, glad to have you. Please make sure you follow the Twitch channel. Thank you. Yep. Engineer question mark? Yes, engineer. The Red Bull engineer. No? Aren't you the Red Bull engineer guy? That's my guess, anyway. Already followed? Nice. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, cool, cool. What? That's so loud. What's Red Bull? That only confirms my suspicions that you're that guy. What's Red Bull? Get him out of here. Anyway, Q1. We got everybody attending except one Haas seat, a Strat Racer, not able to make it. And it seems that Haas team principal was not able to find a reserve either. There was an attempt to get Offen Kartoffel in as an academy driver, but he doesn't have the super license points yet to be eligible for that, so that didn't happen. We just have an empty seat in the Haas, I guess. 19 people is still pretty good attendance. Mythos Speed pairing the track up in the Alfa Romeo. We're gonna see F1 Senna, his teammate, starting a lap as well soon enough. Notably, FICO is reserving in the Ferrari. That's a notable reserve. Another notable reserve is Nikon in the Mercedes. Nikon 45 and P9 right now. Is that Nikon's first time in F1? No, because Nikon had a F1 reserve. Was it last round where Nikon was in an Aston Martin? I believe it was last round, yeah. Anyway, Mythos Speed going to check Sector 3 right now. The Alfa Romeo, very far from the best car on the grid, but you can still get some results. We've seen both Mythos and F1 Senna have very impressive results, even in the Alfa Romeo car, so it's not the worst car. Tier 4 on paper. And Mythos puts it provisionally ahead of a bunch of people. Nikon and the Mercedes notably. Wow, that's beating a Mercedes there. That's pretty impressive. Let's see his teammate, F1 Senna. Finish up the lap. We gotta find a bunch of people to watch with telemetry on, because that's fun. Actually, no reason not to have telemetry on in QUALI in general, so might as well. F1 Senna using all of the track there. I paid for the full game. Deploy used. Oh yeah. F1 Senna unable to beat their teammate Mythos Speed. Cookie. Cookie's on a hot lap, leading championship driver. Wait, what? That didn't make sense what I just said. Drivers championship leader. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. will, I'm sure, be easily getting out of Q1, but it's still nice to see them cross the line. Cookie, who is dominating this season. P2 didn't beat FICO in the Ferrari. Doesn't need to because, you know, it's Q1. It doesn't matter, but FICO making a statement maybe here in the Ferrari. How's Bixos doing? Bixos is actually at risk of being eliminated simply on the fact, based on the fact that he's in a Williams. Williams and AlphaTauri are both tier 5 and are the worst cars on the grid, and we always gotta watch out for them getting eliminated in Q1. That is the most likely outcome in every Q1. That both these teams go out. Big Sauce crosses the line in P8 provisionally, beating Zomble in the AlphaTauri. Coming close to getting ahead of Kel in the Haas. So that's a nice lap. Bixos did, however, get bodied by his teammate. Well, maybe not bodied, but 3/10 is almost quite substantial. It's almost big. There is something that is driving me crazy right now, and that is the fact that little blue bars are popping up at the top of the screen. Is it my graphics card or is it like the game? I have no idea, but it is driving me absolutely nuts. And I'm very curious if anybody on stream can see that. Do you guys see the little like blue bars popping up at the very top of the screen or no? Please tell me that you can see that. Because I don't want it to be my monitor, obviously. Can you see it or not? Like, if you put on full screen HD, if anybody could please tell me if you can see it. Because that is absolutely driving me crazy right now. Does it happen in this POV? It's harder to say. Not to scare you, but I haven't noticed it? It could also be, like, not visible on the... Like, it could also be due to, like, Streamlabs glitching out or something. Wow, okay. This is a big problem. I'm gonna... Actually, okay, hold up. We're gonna do a tiny bit of testing here. The blue stuff does pop up from me also if I'm in the menu, but does it pop up on the Streamlabs preview? I want to see. It's very hard to tell. I guess one console, like, I guess one thing I can say is that I will be able to see after on the VOD if that popped up. But that is kind of weird. I could also restart my monitor actually. Hold up. There we go. Nope, it's still there. A bunch of people haven't set a lap yet, including Kogoda. That's a invalidated lap as well from Kogoda. Gonna start a new one. Actually, since I have this issue, I could also try this. I could switch my thing to balanced. There's gonna be some blurriness, but it could help it. As we see Ixish letting people by there. How much time does Ixish have? Oh, still plenty of time in Q1 to do that. Okay, that setting did not fix the issue, so I'm gonna quickly turn it back. This is just like tech problems stream mode now. Instead of a stream, we're just having tech problems. What's quality? Okay. I'm just gonna ignore it and then like figure it out after the stream, I guess. Ixish still without a lap on board on the board. Gogoda finishing one up right now. Both AlphaTauris P14, P15 provisionally. Gogoda crosses the line at P7, 22.1. Let's see Ixish. Oh, Ixish invalidated, goes into the pits. Okay, I wonder what that's about. Ixish will still have time to get a lap on the board, surely, but might be questionable on the risk factor there. Is Senna on a hot lap? I want to find someone to get actually on board with, but that's not a hot lap because that battery is way too low for that to be a hot lap. So let's try Miniko maybe. Seems that Miniko just finished one up. Yeah, probably. Who else is out there? Nikon. Oh, Nikon might be on a hot lap, judging by the battery. Kogoda getting out of the way there. Bunch of top drivers retiring, that's understandable. Oh. Nikon turning in. Must have not been making up time, I guess. Ixish still not out on track, slowly running out of time there to set a lap. I'm sure he'll make at least one attempt. I mean, it would be silly if he didn't. And Ixish is recovering from a leg injury or leg surgery, maybe. So we could see some underperforming from him this season, for the end of the season, till the end of the season, given the surgery recovery situation. Of course, Ixish is well enough now that he can sim race, and it's not a problem, but it would still be very much, understandable to see some underperformance there from the Alpine driver, given the medical situation. So far, aside from the empty seat, who isn't attending, or rather Trat Racer who didn't attend, and Max Martin who got quali banned, we're gonna have Taco and Zombul getting eliminated in the AlphaTauris. I'm assuming Ixish makes it out. Wait, is it already raining? Really? Oh, dang, it's actually raining in Qatar. There we go. We just saw a little droplet on the screen. That means Igzish's hot lap attempt might actually be dead in the water here in a sec. So that means Ixish will be getting eliminated after all in Q1 and will not have the time, like I was alluding to him having time at the end. Not really. If the grip decreases significantly, he won't be able to beat these AlphaTauris. Kel's lap is 22.8. Ixish needs to beat that to get out of Q1 here. Let's watch. All eyes on Ixish right now to save his qualifying attempts, and he already goes off track and loses a bunch of time there. Yeah, it seems that the weather is too much. It really does look like the Alpine has miscalculated their grip odds here, and it's just gone now. Ixish will be eliminated in Q1 most likely. I mean, with the superior car, it's still technically possible that Ixish pulls this off and is better than Zombul at least, and like gets P16 maybe, but I don't know. There has to be very little grip here. We can see him like half spinning and some exits. I don't know if he can make up for this on like straights, or rather, you know, semi-straights. Maybe you can call them on this track. I don't know. No, DRS even disabled. DRS disabled is a clear signal that slick tires aren't good enough for the track anymore. You gotta go on inters, which of course English will not be doing mid-lap. Alright. Finishing off the lap here. Whoa. No DRS to use there on the main straight. Yeah, that's gotta be not great. And English puts it at 32.4. Yeah, that's gotta be due to the massive weather change. And English ends up in P18 ahead of Max Martin. Oh yeah, I guess that still nets him a position gain because English was behind Max Martin before that. So that lap was still technically profitable for English and Alpine. Yeah, sometimes. I mean, obviously, Exis should be aware of the weather situation in Quali, because you can see the forecast in the garage. Like there must have been something preventing him from going out quickly that was ruining his qualifying session there. And when he did come out, it was already too late, and it was like raining slightly, and the lap was ruined. We'll never know what Exish's performance in hot lap was gonna be in Qatar, because he never got the lap in really. Now it's pouring rain in Qatar, and both AlphaTauris are being eliminated, along with Ixish in the Alpine and Max Martin, who is qualifying banned, so not really his fault. Both Alfa Romeos there. P9, P10, ahead of a bunch of really good cars. Nikon's Mercedes and Kaspersky's Aston Martin. And ahead of their Tier 4 competitor in Kel, who is in P15 in the Haas. What is happening on the track map right now? The car just like took off, apparently, and went into the middle of the track. That car must be getting a 4-star wanted level by now, entering the forbidden area. The Q1 wraps up. I want to show stuff on stream so that it doesn't get lost in the ether. There we go. Might as well verify my app working, my telemetry app. Disconnected? Oh, it does have Q1 results though, so it seems fine. It's probably just disconnected on paper because it's we're about to enter a new session or something. I don't know. But Q1 is recorded, yeah. I wonder if the rain persists for Q2. Even if it doesn't, the track will be slightly moist from the previous session, so we will see decreased grip levels at the start of this session. Nope, it's still raining. Wow. People are going to actually be qualifying on inters in Qatar. That is a really fun wild card getting thrown in here, completely randomly, by the way. In case anyone is curious, in SFR, we do realistic weather, which might sound like a meme as I'm saying that in front of a rainy Qatar, but we do realistic weather in the sense that we set the first block of the session to be whatever the weather is in real life on the specific track at the same time, which it was like zero clouds for Q1. That was set by us. And then we set it to be random or dynamic, if you want to call it what Codemasters call it. We set it to be dynamic for every subsequent block. So that means for QUALI, the weather settings were clear, dynamic, dynamic, and for race, the weather settings are clear, dynamic, dynamic. So that means like, so for example, in this case, it means that like the beginning of Q1 and the beginning of the race are guaranteed to be dry. and then whatever can happen. Obviously, Codemasters also program it so that it's less likely to rain in Qatar. So what we're seeing right now is must have been a very unlikely dice roll that has happened in the software. But yeah, it makes it very interesting. I'm happy that it happened. SFR does sometimes tends to get lucky with these like tricky weather scenarios, making for very interesting racing events. We've seen it a lot this season, especially. And yeah, Cohen will be the one to get us going with the first hot lap. Who's that behind Cohen? Is it Kogoda? Yep. And I'm guessing it's Leonard. And behind Leonard is Mythos Speed. Fourth person out on track. F1 Senna at the very end of that line there. Let's see Cohen's on the board. Oh, I forgot to put telemetry on. I was supposed to do that. Oh, Mythos Speed in the wall. Should only be front wing damage. Should be fixable in the garage. Or is Mythos Speed has Mythos Speed maybe invalidated and is just letting people by? That's also possible. Let's see if Mythos has damage. That doesn't look like damage. Yeah, it doesn't look like damage. Maybe he was just letting people by after he messed up in a corner. Back to Cohen. One of the best drivers in SFR right now. Could even be the best driver in SFR right now. It's just hard to tell because of the league being realistic performance, you know? I'm sure nobody has practiced this track deliberately in the wet, so what you see is what you get. These hot laps that you're gonna see on inters here, they're the result of your intuition from all these drivers and like how well they understand wet weather in this game and racing in wet conditions as opposed to dry. You see Leonard crossing the line. Whoops, I pressed the wrong button as Leonard just got provisional pole. 31.9. F1 Senna's in the middle of a lap. Oh, Taco in chat pointing out he got out-qualified by Zombo for the second time. Taco is clearly falling off. Is he washed? Question mark? Are the rumors true? Anyway, F1 Senna crosses the line. Definitely one of the drivers that could get eliminated here in Q2 in the Alfa Romeo. And as I said, at P11, which is the ripe spot to be eliminated. Cal putting on a 37. That must have been a significant mistake. Mythos, we also saw letting people by. And Henry as well, with basically a moot lap at 140. FICO has not attempted a lap yet, but is on an out lap. We're going to see FICO do a hot lap soon. Is that Leonard on an in lap or is that a hot lap? That is a hot lap indeed. Do we want to see... Who do we want to see? A Williams. It is kind of a big deal that the Williams cars both got out of Q1. Let's see them attempt to stick in there. You never know, they could make it to the top 10, especially with this weather. These kind of wildcards is exactly what these bottom teams need to persist in their in their reaching for the championship points, whatever they can get, basically the scraps in the drivers and the constructors championship. As we see, Big Sauce unfortunately invalidate the lap there out of turn 6. Small mistake leads to a full invalidation. This kind of weather can be brutal like that. And Big Sauce falls to P13. As we're saying that. Alex still sticking in there with the lap though in the Williams. Is that a hot lap attempt? It does appear like that, yeah. You don't use as much battery in this weather, so it's natural that drivers are able to go for subsequent hot lap attempts. So we see Alex clearly having enough battery to finish off this hot lap. And the tires too. It's also probably safe to assume that you won't be needing these inters anywhere in the race. So. Okay, it appears that Alex is now actually starting a hot lap, and that was just an out lap. That's fair enough. F1 Senna, Alfa Romeo also one of the teams that might be getting eliminated here, along with Haas and Williams. Let's see F1 Senna do the latter half of his lap. Very low on battery there, using a lot of it despite the wet weather. But that only confirms to us that this must be a hot lap indeed, and not an out lap like we saw with Alex. Nope. That's an in-lap. F1 Senna must have been dissatisfied with some specific corners there to go for the in-lap and try again. Mythos retiring? Did Mythos actually crash? We're about to see Mythos' mangled corpse in the barrier there. That's brutal. Yeah, Mythos probably won't be getting out of Q2 there with his Alfa Romeo. Ended up in the barrier. It's only fair that someone dies trying in these conditions. Especially on such a track where, like, you'd never expect it to be wet, you know? You never expect it to be raining at all. As we see a bunch of people letting Cookie by. That was kind of a magical moment there as the sea of cars was parting for him. If you've seen Brutal Mighty, you know what I'm talking about? With Jim Carrey. That's a very old movie by now. Is that Leonard crossing the line? No, it's FICO. Let's see FICO cross it. Didn't improve, I think. It must have gotten maybe less grippy on track. And Cookie invalidated. How are the conditions right now? It's so far it's kind of looking. It's starting to look like the track is getting slower. So people are not really improving. Who's that? Nikon. Nikon's on the outlap. Okay, Nikon has faith that he can start a hot lap here and improve his time. 33.8 is the time. We'll see if Nikon is able to do something with that. A bunch of people pitting right now. I'm worried that the reason they're pitting is because they just decided that the track got slower and there's no point trying anymore, and the session's just gonna be cut short by that. That's very likely. We're gonna see if Nikon can do something and prove them wrong, though. I say prove them wrong, that we don't know that they're thinking that. I'm just saying, you know, it's a possibility. So Nikon might prove their hypothetical entities wrong. Their hypothetical mindsets can be proven wrong. Who is that catching up? That's F1 Senna on the outlap. Okay. Right behind Nikon. As he invalidates there. Yikes. That was what, turn 10? It was turn 9. Yeah, invalidated in turn 9. Cut the track a little bit. And F1 Senna starting a new one. We're gonna follow F1 Senna along then. We also have Minico. Is that Minico on the hot lap? No. Miniko just finished the hot lap and got provisionally to P3 with a 31.9. That's cool. Let's see F1 Senna now. At least we have someone to watch. Also, Alfa Romeos are the ones to watch anyway because they could be eliminated here. There's no point spectating like FICO and Cookie, for example, in this session because you know they're making it through. There's no drama there. Obviously, we could see a crazy mistake like with Mythos speed and they could like die in a barrier. That's a possibility. But in general, these top teams, they're feeling fine in Q2 and Q1. And they're just retiring early, usually. It seems like it's stopped raining now. So the track must be starting to dry up at least. So that claim I made earlier about the track getting slower, that must have been untrue. We're certainly going to see these drivers improve their times near the end of this Q2 session. Magic. Full throttle. And the final corner. Track looking much drier by now. We have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the quali session, so plenty of time for the track to get even drier and even more grippy. And Senna puts on a provisional pole with 30.3. I'm not surprised, even though this is an Alfa Romeo car, as the weather has changed dramatically compared to the start of Q2. So we're going to see a bunch of these drivers keep at it and improve their times. Is Sauce possibly on a hot lap here? It is very hard to say. That could be a hot lap. I think it is a hot lap. But you never know. He might just be warming up for like a later lap as well. It would be smart to do that. Oh, DRS enabled? Oh, actually, do you want to be going out on softs right now? That could be the strategy. Oh, a bunch of people are on softs actually. Wow. Cookie on softs. Miniko retiring? Was he caught not in the garage? Cookie invalidated. Still has time to start another one though, so Cookie should be fine. Yeah, softs are definitely the tire to be on right now. Might be dry enough for slicks on last lap. Yeah, you called it. You probably typed that before DRS was enabled or something, or like right as it was enabled. But yeah. Oh, Senna puts it again on provisional pole on the inters, but I got bad news for F1 Senna. It's not gonna stay like that. All these people on soft tires, I'm sure they're gonna body that time. Am I super sure? No. Who is a good candidate to destroy F1 Senna's time? I bet you it was Leonard. Slick tires, Ferrari. Ufi says me, of course. Hey, that's a... You could be the candidate. Just because you're not in the lobby right now doesn't mean that you're not an amazing driver. Am I right, Ufi? Yeah. That's just true. There's no way grip is as good as it usually is at the end of Q2 on this track. But it's still got to be better than at the start of Q2 with all the rain. We have Alex finishing his Q2 session at P14 there. Oh no, was that Haas slowing down the Ferrari maybe? We don't know. FICO is done with the qualifying session. Maybe got caught out a little bit with the tires there because it did, like DRS was enabled kind of unexpectedly. It's possible that some teams were not completely ready to change to the slick tires at the very end and to make some laps happen. So FICO in P8 so far might be eliminated here in Q2 because of this strategy mishap. Leonard, as expected, puts it on pole. Big Sauce on the inters, stuck on these like incorrect tires. We'll see how far Big Sauce can get. So far P2. Oh, even better than Senna, yeah. So Senna's situation is entirely based on how many people can get a lap in. Get a legit lap in. So many people beating Lennart's time now. Is that Pandishpan going across the line? Yeah, Pandishpan. Oh, actually, really poor time. 32.9. P12 getting eliminated in Q2 there. Kel still isn't eliminated. Is Kel gonna stay in and move on to Q3? Cookie puts it on Paul. Provisional Paul. Well, no, it is Paul, but it's Paul for Q2, so it doesn't matter. Is FICO gonna get eliminated over Cal? Apparently, yeah. Amazing. Miniko barely sticking in the Aston Martin, and huge disaster for Mythos Speed, who crashed into the barrier. Pandishpan, who got the strategy wrong, apparently. Or just made a big mistake on the lap. That's also possible. As I see him on softs there, so something must have happened. FICO also getting caught on the wrong tire, possibly there. And a big plot was there as we see a Haas and a Williams making it into Q3. Bixos had an amazing time, even despite having quote unquote the incorrect tire. So that's really significant that Bixos was able to make it so far. That really tells you that like even when you get the strategy wrong, you can still get the timing right with the grip on track and have an amazing result. His teammate unable to repeat that, but still, just A. Williams making it into Q3 is quite amazing. We also see F1 Senna made it in there. Miniko barely made it in there, retiring kind of early, but got lucky maybe. Maybe the banker was amazing enough. Given the weather conditions, Miniko's lap must have been really good in the previous less optimal weather. Otherwise, Miniko wouldn't be able to compete with all these other laps and wouldn't be in Q3. We have both McLarens, both Mercedes making it into Q3. The only Red Bull that wasn't quali banned also made it in. Aston Martin of Kaspersky was eliminated, but Miniko makes it in, so Aston Martin makes an appearance. Haas makes a Q3 appearance. That's a very big plot twist. An even bigger plot twist is an Alfa Romeo making it into Q3, but with F1 Senna's skill, that's not such a huge surprise, but technically F1 Senna's car is inferior to Cal's car. But they're, maybe I shouldn't say inferior because they're pretty much even. It's just that if you look at our official stats, you're gonna see that the Alfa Romeo car is like 1% behind the Haas or something. They're pretty even. Miniko will be the first one to do a lap. Might as well show telemetry. It's QUALI. And we see Cal doing some jazzy moves. Everyone on softs this time? Yeah, because it's dry now. It's probably gonna stay dry too. The odds of having rain in the race are like minuscule now. If we had somehow randomly both clear into rain in QUALI and then clear into rain in the race, that would be like an insurmountable odds. And we probably would have heard some rumors about it already from Twitch chat or something. As the drivers can see race weather in QUALI, I believe, in the garage. Miniko stepping into the Aston Martin seat halfway through the SFR Season 6. Replacing FICO, who left right before the half point of the season. FICO moved on to be a free agent. And since then, we have seen FICO actually get reserve gigs at Ferrari, which is a faster car. So you could argue that FICO moved on to a faster car, even though technically FICO did not get a Ferrari seat. He just got like a free agent gig, but he is getting those reserve gigs, so FICO showing up in the faster cars. Cringe, we're not called Simulation Formula Racing anymore, it's SimHaven Formula Racing now. That's the old name. It's still SFR, but it's SimHaven instead of Simulation. But you know, the sim in SimHaven does stand for simulation, so technically we still got it in the name somehow. Guys, by the way, you know it does rain in the desert sometimes, right? I swear it's a thing. It's just not very common. I bet you codemasters know it too, and they didn't actually fuck up. They just have it set to like a very low probability on this track. Oh, as we see Minico invalidate there in the middle of sector 3. We're gonna move on to watch Kel now, I guess. Kel, who hasn't invalidated yet. Often caught up on theorizing on what he would have done. Cool, thanks, bro. Next week? Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe next week. You did finish both races in F2, right? So you probably are getting the super license points. Anyway, Kel put it at 22.6. Doing a little bit worse than the Mercedes. Not a huge surprise that a Haas cannot match the Mercedes. Nikon in his reserve seat, reserving for Vodka, taking over the George Russell car. He puts it at 21.9, almost 22 seconds. Losing out to the other Mercedes driver and Cookie and Leonard. So far, Kogoda on provisional pole. You don't see Kogoda beating Cookie and Leonard and Cohen very often this season. So that's a very impressive result. Could it be that maybe this track is like amazing for Mercedes or something? Oh, should I start looking for a job as like a paid league commentator now? I got a second person today telling me that my commentary is good. I don't believe you yet, but we'll see. We'll see how it develops, my commentary career. One thing that I am lucky to have that is making my commentary a lot easier is that SFR has all this stuff going on behind the scenes. I can just yap about that instead of telling you what's happening in this session. So instead of being like, oh, this Mercedes is going around the corner, I can be like, this guy's getting an academy contract soon, maybe. They're not cooking with their quality times. Right, someone with potato in their name must be an expert on cooking. That does make sense. Kogoda on the in-lap here. Is there anyone actually starting a lap? Oh, F1 Senna without a time. You don't see F1 Senna finish this one up. That must be a hot lap. 1 second off the pace? Yeah. SFR is not esports. We have a lot of people that are like, you know, off the pace, quote unquote, but that's part of the fun. That it's not like it's not so competitive, right? Hey, F1 Senna, 21.8. Finishes ahead of the Mercedes of Nikon, absolutely bodying the Haas of Cal. And throwing out a challenge to the Williams and the Aston, who haven't set a time of it yet, I guess. Okay, Cal will be the one to do another hot lap. No one to watch right now doing a hot lap. Podcast time. Oh, we got Lee Goat also watching. Cool. Hey, while there's downtime, because there's no one doing a hot lap right now, I want to remind you about our little Gaza fundraiser. We're raising money for charity. All of it is going to charity. We're not taking any other money. You can verify that because we're using GoFundMe, so the funds are like directly transferred to the charity. There's no way we even could take any of it. We're fundraising for the victims of the Gaza bombings, and the charity is Save the Children Fund. And exactly in 1 week, during the round 10 stream of F1, which is this category after the race, we're gonna do a little lottery where we're gonna pick one winner who is getting a £25 Steam gift card Why is that happening? That is because our fundraiser has crossed the first milestone where that prize was offered. And one of you could still win that Steam gift card because you can still donate and you can still get a chance. So, if you want to check out our Discord server, check out the channel Gaza Fundraiser in that server. You have all the details there that you need. Any amount of money you donate gets you chances to win the Steam gift card, and the more you donate, the better chances you get. One last thing I want to note, the odds of you winning if you donate like the minimum amount right now are much better than they seem, because there's a lot of people who donated money who explicitly said they don't want to take part in the giveaway. Or for example, they are admins in the server, so they can't win the giveaway because that would be weird, right? Like me. So, your odds are like much better than they seem. Pretty good chances to win. Okay, enough about that. As we have Cal starting the hot lap already. I say starting, he's really halfway through Sector 2. He's almost done. Gonna be looking to improve his time of 22.6. Can I win a jar of jelly beans instead? If there's a game on Steam that gets you jelly beans, you could fulfill your fantasy that way. But we're gonna have to stick with the Steam gift card. And Kartoffel says, I want a potato. Close enough. There is a game called I Am Bread on Steam that you could get with the gift card. I would recommend that, I guess. It's not a potato, but it's like a bland food item, so it reminds me of a potato. Cal improving by about 1/10 there in the hot lap. Not a huge improvement and doesn't matter so far in terms of positions, but nice to see him go at it. Obviously, you're not expecting to see any Haas car in the Q3, so whatever tiny improvements he makes are impressive. Anyway. Don't insult the Kartoffel! Come on, like, they're bland by definition. I'm sorry. I love French fries and everything. Like, I'm not dissing the potato. I'm just saying it's gotta be bland, like, it's gotta be bland by definition. Yeah, you will be able to trade the gift card because it will be a code that you can trade. They are goated, but also they're bland. Like, you can't say potatoes are not bland, right? It's just not allowed, surely. It's like saying sugar isn't sweet. Like, it is by definition, right? You guys are scheming in Twitch chat to get like a bunch of like a weird collection of items instead of the Steam gift card. You need to donate in the first place. Give us money. Cookie setting a professional pole lap. 20.7. That's funny because there was a rumor right before this session where the rumor said that Cookie is doing 20.7s and it said source close to the RB garage. And there we go. Cookie is on 20.7, beating Kogoda's professional pole lap now. As I say that, Kogoda's starting a hot lap. Let's see Kogoda's on board. Kogoda is a 3-time champion in SFR. Has been with Mercedes for many seasons, leaving to Ferrari for one season. That ended in a very close championship battle with Ruletorn, but Ruletorn ultimately clinching it from a Red Bull seat. And Kogoda had to be content with a P2 in the Drivers' Championship in the Ferrari. Has gone back to Mercedes after that, and has stayed in Mercedes ever since. All those 3 titles that Kogoda has are in the Mercedes as well. That was back in the day when the Mercedes was a better car, comparatively. Nikon, F1 Senna and Kel already done with their qualifying, didn't go for an additional lap. And Cookie also done, oh.